What is the approach for publishers to should take to build their first-party data and to make it actually monetizable? And if you have probably thought about this, and can you please share some insights? This is one of the topics that keeps everybody awake in our industry, and I would love to hear your thoughts, Greg.
Sure. I mean, yeah, from my side, obviously at Hivestack, we don't own first-party data. However, we are agnostic to data partners, and we can certainly ingest it into the platform for campaign activity. But for publishers, where applicable, an aligned and clear GDPR strategy is key. I've obviously touched on that. But it means really matching editorial capabilities on your sites or mobile apps with commercial requirements. So when is GDPR needed? When is the audience asked for that consent? By the way, this is Europe-based. I just realised there's people from around the world here, but it might be coming your way, certainly in America. So what is the forecasted sign-up rate for those users? And also, how can you incentivize more sign-ups for those as well? Once you have this clear, you need to assess what to do with your inventory. And as I mentioned, influence and context are key. So, but also you need to be saleable to make sure the illustration of your inventory reflects this and is packaged accordingly. And that last part is key. As usable inventory for personal targeting has been significantly dwindling over the years. So the fact is, it's quite hard. So having a first-party data strategy is great, but depending where we are in the world, of course, there's limitations. And actually, it's important to understand addressability outside of consent is still something to consider. Certain devices will struggle to send over data about users in the right format for things like DSPs or SSPs to then accept it in the right way. This is more relating to sort of display and video, of course.
Yeah.
And then obviously in the future, the iOS limitations are gonna change that. I think from my side in out of home, the data is starting to play a larger part. And we use a combination of audience data, which we then make more granular by using anonymized mobile ID data. So again, what we're doing there is using the first party data we have and working with it in different ways. And we also work with, about sort of 14 location data partners around the world. So we're working with as many as possible. So in terms of let's go back to sort of vendor size from my side, but in terms of making it more monetizable, I think, ring fencing it, working out what it is, leveraging it for that inventory where you don't have the first party data is the key sort of message from me there, really.
Thank you. From my point of view, a step-by-step approach for publishers to build first party audiences. At The Independent, we have 114 million unique users across the globe. That's a huge number. And Greg alluded to it earlier on. We are not going to have first party data on 114 million users. There are legislative issues around the world, and ultimately the way that you can collect first-party data in a successful way is through a value exchange. So we have to offer something to our users, not treat them as numbers, in order for them to give us their valuable data. So in the past, that would be, the value exchange would be, we're giving you some written information, and we're using our journalists to go around the world to source this information, to produce content, to ask questions of figureheads and leaders in the world. And that was the value exchange. You come to the website, you see some ads, and you click on some of them, and we give you the content. Where we are now is that users are expecting to receive a lot more for free without having to give anything. So we have to give more. Now, these value exchanges, from our points of view, we have a subscription service, an area where we have additional content which goes deeper into subjects, which has really important key figures within the UK and global landscape who are writing for us. All sorts of ideas such as wine clubs and cinema clubs and all of these things. We have a lot under consideration, but in order to get that first party data, and let's be really clear, what do you really want? Well, you want demographics.
Yeah.
It's going to give you your broad, we're looking for 18, 34-year-old females in London or in New York or wherever it may be.